Good afternoon and good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and coffee stream number 392. And I hope everyone had a good weekend. I hope you're all having a good Monday. I hope it's not as cold and drizzly and dreary as it is here for you guys. Let's see. Let's get into the actual stream here. So, I hope everyone's having a good day. Where are we here? Here we are. Ha ha ha. Pause, damn you. Hello, Grillin' Pirate Pete. Glad to have you here in chat with us and everyone else that is here too. I've got some news from Pinkalo to read, and I also found a Pierre Polyev video. We're not going to watch the whole thing because it's 23 minutes, but the first 3 to 4 minutes is just great. And it is why the stream is titled what it is titled. So we're gonna save that video for just a little while, and let's go into the DMs from Pinkalo. Oh my goodness. I am very sore already. I've had my workout, or my first workout this morning. Why is this so far down? Okay. Stop, voiceover. Come on. Okay. So, we're going to take a look at what Pinkalo sent me. All right. What has Pinkalo sent? Oh, this is a fresh article from about 20 minutes ago. Oh, interesting. Okay, this is an interesting article, just from the title. All right, let's see here. Quiet, you. Ooh, a pork roast on the grill. Yummy. I'm coming to your house, Pete. Okay. So this is an interesting article Pinkalo sent about 15 minutes ago. Hunter, which is the writer of this article. John Wayne Gacy cop tells son there's more victims. Okay. Let's see here. Let me... Okay, I'm at the correct part. Okay, here we go. Let's make sure that the volume is up. There we go. Okay, let's go here.
A British crime writer is accused of making up interviews with serial killers like John Wayne Gacy. Raphael Tovar had developed a relationship with the corpulent killer sitting in the car with him. The serial killer knew he couldn't lie to the veteran detective, and with scores of bodies found in his suburban Chicago home, there wasn't much left to say. YouTube video. YouTube end up. But killer clown John Wayne Gacy couldn't help himself. Tovar was one of the detectives who sent Gacy to death row after he was convicted of murdering 33 men and boys and burying their bodies in the basement crawl space of his home.
Because John Wayne Gacy was a crazy son of a bitch.
Gacy was iced via a needle in 1994. Chicago has always been a violent city. Tovar told his tale to the Toronto Sun in the lead up to a new 4-part docu-series on the infamous killer. I honestly believe that he was honest with me. He was convinced that if you knew the answer or could find out, he'd tell you the truth, Tovar said from his Chicago home. But he also liked to play mind games. So, we're in the car, and I asked him, John, how many bodies are there? Tovar said, his Texas drawl still present after more than 50 years in Chicago. Story continues to let third party at frame 1, end up. Third, serial killer John Wayne Gacy is possibly the most prolific gay serial killer the world has seen. Photo by Chicago police. Gacy paused. Then, he replies, I've told my lawyer and I've told you guys, cops, that there's 34, but really, 45 sounds like a good number, the retired detective said. You are current?
Sounds like a good number. But is he really telling the truth, or is he fucking with him?
The detective, who logged more than 39 years as a cop on the suburban Des Plaines, Police Department, believes Gacy and is certain there are more victims. I honestly believe there are more victims, but the others might be outside Chicago. There's gaps in his killing when he was traveling, Tovar said, adding that doesn't mean he stops killing.
Yeah. That's true. That, I think he could be right there.
YouTube video. Group YouTube. Frame. End up. Unmute video. Gacy was a contractor with ties to the Chicago Democratic Party machine and whose sinister alter egos were the clowns Pogo and Patches. Beneath the veneer of respectability, he was a monster. He would pick up male hustlers and runaways, and take them to his house before torturing and murdering his victims. Gacy would dispose of bodies in the unfinished basement of his home. Tovar had worked narcotics before moving to homicide and recalled that the Gacy case came together quickly. The beginning of the end started on the afternoon of December 11, 1978, when Gacy was discussing a contracting job with the owner of Nissen Pharmacy. Part-time clerk Robert Peist, 15, overheard Gacy mention that he often hired teenage boys to work on his crews at $5 an hour. Peist wanted to talk to Gacy about a job. At the maniac's home, Peist was tricked into wearing handcuffs. As the boy began fighting, Gacy told him, I'm going to rape you, and you can't do anything about it.
Jesus Christ.
Story continues. Third party.
That's blatant.
Frame 3. End up. His terrified family told cops that he was last at Gacy's house. The killer clown's lies began unraveling. As detectives scrambled to get a search warrant, Tovar spent time with Gacy at the cop shop. I had to entertain him while they got a search warrant, which wasn't going to be that hard, Tovar said. You are currently on a text.
Yeah, what a fucked up. Gacy is one of those ones that's just. Huzzah! I am unboxing my blind press mug. Ooh, cool. Woot, only a little late this time around. Hey, Lord Famine. Hey, Costin. Sweet, that didn't take very long, Pete. That's awesome.
You know, he spent the time bragging about himself, who he knew, just BSing. He was a loudmouth braggart and thought he was a big man in Cook County, Chicago.
BSing voiceover.
He was, in the detective's words, a motor-mouth. Gacy wouldn't shut up. But when the search warrant finally came in, the Democratic machine man didn't want cops to mess up his house. He told Tovar, here's where the bodies are. He told me, I'm going to draw you guys a map where all the bodies are buried, and that's what he did.
Wow. I don't want you guys to mess up my house, so here's where all the bodies are.
12:09 p.m. All you need. Trudeau may have made an oopsie. He woke up this morning.
Trudeau may have made an oopsie. He woke up this morning. Well done, all you need. Hello.
Tovar says now he was stunned at how casual the killer sitting across from him was. A chilling banality. And that was it. Gacy told the detectives everything. You are
wow.
He was charged with 33 murders and went on trial on February 6, 1980. His defense team argued that the rotund monster was insane.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
A month later, he was convicted, and it took the jury just 2 hours to sentence Gacy to die by lethal injection.
Yeah.
For his final meal, the former clown ordered a bucket of KFC, a dozen fried shrimp, French fries, fresh strawberries, and a Diet Coke. On May 10, 1994, John Wayne Gacy was given the big adios. Tovar called the serial killer the poster child for the death penalty.
Yeah?
John Gacy wasn't crazy. Even after he was executed, doctors studied his brain. There was nothing wrong with it, Tovar said. He was just an evil bastard who enjoyed playing God. Gacy was the very personification of evil. You are currently on...
I would agree with that. People like him, people like BTK, people like Ed Kemper, they're just fucked up. Ugh.
Chat message, 12:09 p.m. All you need, custom 12:08 p.m. Custom emojis.
Ugh. So, next article was sent. Where is it here? Oh, start with this one. Oops. Ah! Okay, here's the one I should have started with, and I didn't see the start with this one message. Sorry, honey. If you're listening. Okay. Share the screen. Okay. Here we go. WHO report, COVID likely first jumped into humans from animals. Didn't we already know this? I'm confused. Okay, let's read and find out.
Chat message, 12:12 p.m. Ginger Snap. Hi everyone.
Hey, Ginger Snap.
11 p.m. Lord Famine. What brought on the delve into John Wayne Gacy?
What about brought in the delve into John Wayne Gacy?
12:11 p.m.
Pinkalo knows that I
All you need. Trudeau mayhem.
like serial killer stuff. So.
Trucking with the tablet. Hello chat. Hello BP.
Hey, trucking with the tablet.
Chat message input. Sent. Chat custom emoji. 12:12 p.m. Ginger Snap. Hi everyone. Beijing, a joint World Health Organization China study on the origins of COVID-19 says that transmission of the virus from bats to humans through another animal is the most likely scenario and that a lab leak is extremely unlikely, according to a draft copy obtained by the Associated Press.
From bats to humans with an animal in between.
The findings
Okay.
offer little new insight into how the virus first emerged and leave many questions unanswered, though that was as expected. But the report does provide more detail on the reasoning behind the researchers' conclusions. The team proposed further research in every area except the lab leak hypothesis, a speculative theory that was promoted by former U.S. President Donald Trump among others. It also said the role played by a seafood market where human cases were first identified was uncertain. The report, which is expected to be made public Tuesday, is being closely watched since discovering the origins of the virus could help scientists prevent future pandemics, but it's also extremely sensitive since China bristles at any suggestion that it is to blame for the current one.
Right?
Matthew Cavanaugh at Georgetown University said the report deepened the understanding of the virus's origins, but more information was needed.
Of course it did. So it was a report. This is the report. We are reporting that we have nothing to report because we have no idea what's going on still.
12:11 p.m. 12:14 p.m. Ginger Snap. All Chinese propaganda.
All Chinese propaganda.
Full screen. Trap. Tap. Close. Top chat. 6. Top. Close.
Yeah, that's what this report is. We have nothing to report.
Dismiss.
This is our report. We are reporting that we have nothing to report because we still don't know what's going on. We are sorry.
14 p.m. Ginger Snap. Welcome. Custom Learn more.
Oh, man.
It is clear that the Chinese government has not provided all the data needed and, until they do, firmer conclusions will be difficult, he said in a statement.
Then why did you make a report?
Last year, an AP investigation found the Chinese government was strictly controlling all research into its origins, and repeated delays in the report's release have raised questions about whether the Chinese side was trying to skew its conclusions.
Of course it was.
We've got real concerns about the methodology and the process that went into the report, including the fact that the government in Beijing apparently helped to write it, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said in a recent CNN interview.
Okay, wow. That's kind of a conflict of, well, not kind of, that is a definite conflict of interest there.
China rejected the criticism Monday. You are currently on.
China rejects any criticism.
The U.S. has been speaking out on the report. The U.S. has been speaking out on the report. By doing this, isn't the U.S. trying to exert political pressure on the members of the WHO expert group? Asked Foreign Ministry spokesperson Zhao Lijian.
No.
Still, suspicion of China has helped fuel the theory that the virus escaped from a lab in Wuhan, the Chinese city where the virus was first identified. The report cited several reasons for all but dismissing that possibility. It said that such laboratory accidents are rare and the labs in Wuhan working on coronaviruses and vaccines are well managed. It also noted that there is no record of viruses closely related to the coronavirus in any laboratory before December 2019 and that the risk of accidentally growing the virus was extremely low. So
magic? I don't know.
The report is based largely on a visit by a WHO team of international experts to Wuhan. The mission was never meant to identify the exact natural source of the virus, an endeavor that typically takes years. For instance, more than 40 years of study has still failed to pinpoint the exact species of bat that are the natural reservoir of Ebola.
Okay.
In the draft obtained by the AP, the researchers listed 4 scenarios in order of likelihood for the emergence of the new coronavirus. Topping the list was transmission from bats through another animal, which they said was likely to very likely. They evaluated direct spread from bats to humans as likely, and said that spread to humans from the packaging of cold chain food products was possible but not likely.
I wonder if it's like a mosquitoes or something like that.
That last possibility was previously dismissed by the WHO and the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, but researchers on this mission have taken it up again, further raising questions about the politicization of the study since China has long pushed the theory. Bats are known to carry coronaviruses and, in fact, the closest relative of the virus that causes COVID-19 has been found in bats. However, the report says that the evolutionary distance between these bat viruses and COVID-19 is estimated to be several decades, suggesting a missing link.
Interesting. Okay. So that is actually science. Oh no, American coffee bean stockpiles have sunk to an all-time low. Shortage of shipping containers is being blamed. Oh, shit. It totally wasn't that too fucked up.
It said highly similar viruses have been found in pangolins, which are another kind of mammal, but scientists have yet to identify the same coronavirus in animals that has been infecting humans. The AP received the draft copy on Monday from a Geneva-based diplomat from a WHO member country. It wasn't clear whether the report might still be changed prior to release, though the diplomat said it was the final version. A second diplomat confirmed getting the report too. Both refused to be identified because they were not authorized to release it ahead of publication.
I bet.
WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus acknowledged that he had received the report over the weekend and said it would be formally presented Tuesday.
Okay.
All hypotheses are on the table and aren't complete and further studies from what I have seen so far, he said at a news conference. The report is inconclusive on whether the outbreak started at a Wuhan seafood market that had one of the earliest clusters of cases in December 2019. Research published last year in the journal Lancet suggested the market may have merely served to further spread the disease rather than being its source.
So this report, like I said, was published to report that they have nothing to report. Oh my goodness. Okay, where's the headphone jack here? There it is. All right. What is the next story we have here? Oh, another murder story. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So here we go, back to Canada. Alleged murderer wanted for kidnapping of Brampton woman. Oh, good. From murder to kidnapping. What a wonderful, wonderful person. Okay, here we go.
A man suspected of kidnapping a Brampton woman on Sunday was already wanted to face a first-degree murder charge, according to Peel Regional Police.
Hey, you're up for first-degree murder charges. How are you going to combat that? I know, I'll kidnap somebody. That'll help.
Chat message 12:20 p.m. Ginger snap. It's a wet market, which is a totally different thing. 12:19 p.m. Ginger snap. It's not a seafood market.
It's not a seafood market. It's a wet market, which is a totally different thing. Ah.
Police fired at a vehicle that was allegedly used to abduct Selina Elk, 23, from a home in the Mayfield, Mississauga RDS area around 3 a.m. Sunday, say investigators. You are currently on a text element. YouTube video. YouTube.
Okay.
Police identified their suspect as Kwame Garwood, 21, who is wanted on 4 warrants in the GTA, including the first-degree murder of Andre Charles in a Scarborough parking lot in July 2020.
Huh.
Kwame Garwood. Photo by... We have great concern for her safety, said Superintendent Sean Gormley. With the history of this male party, Garwood, we have concerns.
I bet you have concerns.
There are no reports of injuries at the scene of the kidnapping. The Special Investigations Unit is investigating because police discharged a firearm.
Really? They're investigating because of that? Not because of the fact that he's a first degree, or that he's up for first degree murder charges and he's kidnapped somebody?
Constable Heather Cannon said police, there are no reports of it. There are no reports of injuries at the scene of the kidnapping. The Special Investigations Unit is investigating because police discharged a firearm. You are currently on... Constable Heather Cannon said police were called after a screaming man banged on a door at a residence on Adventure Road. You are currently... Story continues below. Third party at frame 1. End up. After the man somehow got into the house, a woman was screaming inside the home, according to police. Chrome has new... Unsui investigator is pictured at the scene of an alleged abduction in Brampton on March. A female was screaming inside the residence. Police entered and there was an interaction where an officer discharged a firearm, Constable Heather Cannon said. You are currently on a text. Police alleged
Oops.
Police alleged Garwood fled the area without in a black Honda Civic bearing the license plate BZHE 247.
So he's at large. Oh, wonderful. Why wasn't he in jail? I don't know. That's a very good question, Ginger Snap.
The vehicle was found empty Sunday afternoon 6 kilometers away from the abduction home. There was no sign of Garwood or Alk. Alk was in the vehicle unwillingly, Cannon alleged. Our goal is the safety and well-being. Alk was in the vehicle unwillingly, Cannon alleged. Our goal is the safety and well-being of Selina. The Special Investigation Unit says officers breached the door of the residence and followed the sounds of screams, which took them to the garage. Inside the garage, they found a man in the driver's seat of the vehicle with a woman in the back seat. After an interaction, police fired at the vehicle which managed to flee, according to the SRI. You are currently on it. At this time, it is not known whether the man was struck by gunfire, the SRI said in a release.
So he's at large with her, okay.
Garwood and Alk are known to each other, but police wouldn't elaborate. YouTube video. YouTube. End up. Unmute video. Garwood is considered armed and dangerous. Police urge anyone who sees him not to approach Garwood and to call 911. You are currently on a text element. On July 4th, 43-year-old Charles was found in a parking lot in the Morecambe Gate and Chester Lee Boulevard area around 1:35 p.m. with gunshot wounds. He died in hospital. Sharma Bailey, 21, of Toronto, was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and a warrant was issued for Garwood. You are currently on. The SWE investigates when someone dies, suffers injuries, or is sexually assaulted during an interaction with police. Link. K. Connor, at link. View on Toronto's...
What a fucked up story. Jesus Christ. I hope they get this girl back. Yeah, I don't know why he wasn't in jail, Ginger Snap. Like, he might have been out on bail or something, or, but I don't know. Like, this is craziness. Okay. Okay. Okay, here we go. Share. There we go. All right. Former officer's trial in George Floyd's death gets underway. Oh boy. So we're going to be bombarded with stories like this and possibly more riots. Okay.
Minneapolis, the former Minneapolis police officer charged with killing George Floyd went on trial Monday, with a prosecutor telling the jury that the figure to remember is 9 minutes, 29 seconds, the amount of time Derek Chauvin's knee was on Floyd's neck as the black man pleaded for his life and went limp. You are currently on...
What?
Minneapolis, the former Minneapolis police officer charged with killing George Floyd went on trial Monday, with a prosecutor telling the jury that the figure to remember is 9 minutes, 29 seconds, the amount of time Derek Chauvin's knee was on Floyd's neck as the black man pleaded for his life and went limp. Prosecutor Jerry Blackwell told jurors that Chauvin didn't let up. He didn't get up even after Floyd said 27 times that he couldn't breathe and went motionless. He put his knees upon his neck and his back, grinding and crushing him, until the very breath, no ladies and gentlemen, until the very life, was squeezed out of him, Blackwell said. He said bystander witnesses would include a Minneapolis Fire Department first responder who wanted to administer aid. He said Chauvin pointed mace at her.
Really? Are we sure about that?
She wanted to check on his pulse, check on Mr. Floyd's well-being, Blackwell said. She did her best to intervene. When she approached Mr. Chauvin reached for his mace and pointed it in her direction. She couldn't help. You are correct. Widely seen bystander video of the encounter sparked outrage across the U.S. and led to widespread protests and scattered violence.
Scattered violence. Oh my god. Really? You call what happened over the summer scattered violence? Right, carry on.
A jury of 14 people will hear the case, 8 who are white and 6 who are black or multiracial. According to the court, 2 of the 14 will be alternates. The judge has not said which ones will be alternates and which ones will deliberate the case.
Why do we need 14 jurors and not 12, and why does it matter what their race is?
Legal experts said they expected prosecutors to play the video to the jury early on. You are currently on a text element, inside of web content. If you're a prosecutor, you want to start off strong. You want to frame the argument, and nothing frames the argument in this case as much as that video, said Jeffrey Kramer, a former federal prosecutor and managing director of Berkeley Research Group in Chicago. You are currently on a text element, inside of web content. To exit this web area, press Control, Option, Shift, up arrow.
Okay.
Floyd, 46, was declared dead after Chauvin, who is white, pressed his knee against Floyd's neck as he lay handcuffed on his belly on the pavement, crying, "I can't breathe."
Okay, it doesn't matter what color Chauvin is. Chauvin was a bad cop. Alright? Chauvin was a bad cop. George Floyd was also not a very nice man. And it doesn't matter that he was black. Okay? It really doesn't matter what color their skin was. Chauvin was a bad cop, and Floyd was at most a questionable human being. 14 jurors equals 12 active and 2 backup in case a juror needs to be replaced. Got it. Thank you, Pete. Thank you muchly.
Chauvin, 45, is charged with unintentional second-degree murder, third-degree murder and manslaughter. Almost all of the jurors selected during more than 2 weeks of questioning said they had seen at least parts of the video, and several acknowledged it gave them at least a somewhat negative view of Chauvin, but they said they could set that aside. You are currently on a text. About dozen people chanted and carried signs in the middle of the street outside the courthouse entrance as Floyd family attorney Ben Crump, the Reverend Al Sharpton, and members of the Floyd family passed by on their way inside. The group also carried a makeshift coffin, on top of which they placed flowers. You are
Okay, then.
Crump said the trial would be a test of whether America is going to live up to the Declaration of Independence, and he blasted the idea that it would be a tough test for jurors.
Oh my God. Guys. Again. Chauvin, bad cop. Floyd, bad person. Doesn't matter what color they are. Why are you guys making this about race?
For all those people that continue to say that this is such a difficult trial, that this is a hard trial, we refute that, he said. We know that if George Floyd was a white American citizen, and he suffered this painful, torturous death with a police officer's knee on his neck, nobody would be saying this is a hard case.
That's not true.
The trial is expected to last about 4 weeks at the courthouse in downtown Minneapolis, which has been fortified with concrete barriers, fencing, and barbed and razor wire. City and state leaders are determined to prevent a repeat of damaging riots that followed Floyd's death, and National Guard troops have already been mobilized.
Wow. This is a big response. It's almost like they're expecting a riot. It's almost... I'm not going to get into this. But will the jurors be able to set aside their homes that their will the jurors be able to set aside their fears that their homes will be vandalized when someone leaks their name? Right? Yeah. If you can't breathe, you can't speak. Exactly, Duck Dog. Razor wire because they are expecting scattered violence. Right? Exactly. Exactly, Pete. Oh, Duck Dog. That Bird Dog coffee is fucking amazing, dude. Oh man, and I was looking at their different flavors too, and I'm like, ooh, vanilla buttercream. Ooh, this. Oh man, that Bird Dog coffee is fucking awesome. I have to say.
The key questions of trial will be whether Chauvin caused Floyd's death and whether his actions were reasonable.
Reasonable? No. Did he cause his death? Was he a factor in it? Yeah, but did he cause it? I don't think so.
For the unintentional second-degree murder charge, prosecutors have to prove Chauvin's conduct was a substantial causal factor in Floyd's death, and that Chauvin was committing felony assault at the time. For third-degree murder, they must prove that Chauvin's actions caused Floyd's death, and were reckless and without regard for human life.
I think that it's probably the second one. The second-degree murder, I would say. Unintentional second-degree murder.
The manslaughter charge requires proof that Chauvin caused Floyd's death through negligence that created an unreasonable risk. Unintentional second-degree murder is punishable by up to 40 years in prison in Minnesota, with up to 25 years for third-degree murder, but sentencing guidelines suggest that Chauvin would face 1/2 years in prison if convicted on either charge. Manslaughter has a maximum 10-year sentence.
Only 12.5 years.
Chauvin's attorney, Eric Nelson, was expected to use his opening statement to tell jurors that medical testimony and use of force experts will show a different view. Nelson has made clear that the defense will make an issue of Floyd swallowing drugs before his arrest, seeking to convince the jury that he was at least partially responsible for his death. The county medical examiner's autopsy noted fentanyl and methamphetamine in Floyd's system.
Yep.
It listed his cause of death as cardiopulmonary arrest, complicating law enforcement subdual, restraint, and neck compression.
There you go, because his heart was already strained from the drugs he was on. I mean, I'm sure having his neck kneeled on probably didn't help, but was it the direct cause? They may have gotten third-degree manslaughter. DA got greedy by going for second degree. Yeah. There's a reason why it's my favorite. Ha! Oh, it's so good, man. It's like, yeah, there's like so many flavors. Oh, that coffee is so nice. And there's such a difference between grinding your own coffee. Like, it tastes different.
This case to us is a slam dunk, because we know the video is the proof. It's all you need, Floyd's brother Philony said Monday on NBC's Today Show. The guy was kneeling on my brother's neck, a guy who was sworn in to protect. He killed my brother in broad daylight. That was a modern-day lynching.
Okay, no it wasn't.
Advertisement. Link. Chrome has a new
No,
window.
it was not a modern day lynching. Stop that. Stop it right now. Stupid. 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 That makes me so angry. Here's something that's gonna also make me so angry. It's from Pink Hollow as well. Okay. Here we go. All right. Share screen. There we go. Okay. All right, here we go. Where are we? Share, please. Okay, here we go. Fully vaccinated traveler fined $3,700 for refusing hotel stay. Jesus Christ. That's ridiculous. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Hannah Rockman and her husband David traveled to Israel 2.5 months ago to care for her ailing sister, long before Canada's controversial hotel quarantine was put in place. You are currently on a text element. The Toronto clinical psychologist says while in Israel they were vaccinated with both shots, the second a month ago. You are currently YouTube video. YouTube, end up. But when they flew home last week on separate Air Canada flights, her husband 2 days before her, they were treated very differently upon landing at Pearson Airport and rejecting the idea of a quarantine hotel stay. Levy, COVID hotel experience inefficient and unnecessary.
Interesting.
Hannah said her husband, 61, was fined $3,750, not the $880 we were led to believe, and reprimanded by Peel Regional Police. You are currently on a text element.
What's next? You're gonna start looking for hall passes?
Even though he told them he was fully vaccinated, they allegedly responded that he should have thought about the quarantine issue before deciding to travel, long before the quarantine rules came into play.
But he's fully vaccinated. Why should he have to? This is what I mean. Where's your hall pass? Where's your hall pass? You don't have your hall pass. Where is it?
12:38 p.m. Ginger Snap. Hi, Selective Boy.
Hey, Selecta Boy.
Duck Dog. And Selective Boy raised hand. 12:37 p.m. Selective Boy. What's up at 12:37
Let's see.
Selective Boy. What's up at 12:36 p.m. Ginger Snap. Someone doesn't know the meaning of the word.
Oh, this is...
p.m. Duck Dog. Just FYI, it's Speckled Axe Coffee. Bird Dog is the roast.
Oh, it's speckled... What is it?
Just FYI, it's Speckled Axe Coffee.
Speckled eggs coffee. Bird dog is the roast. Okay. It's so good.
I tell the cops to stick their reprimand up their asses. 12:38 p.m. Ginger Snap. Hi, Selective
I'd tell the cops to stick their reprimand up their asses, right, Lord Famine? This is insane.
He even had a letter from her sister's doctor verifying that his wife was the only family member who could take care of her during the time they were away, but the cops were completely disinterested, she claims.
Jesus.
Story continues. The third-party ad frame 1. End up. She believes the implication was that he'd gone away and now he was going to get punished. Hannah, on the other hand, was permitted to quarantine at home when she indicated she had run out of medication that she desperately needed. She said what was so telling about their two experiences is how so very arbitrary the decisions are when one lands in Toronto and presumably at other airports.
Yeah. That is arbitrary as fuck.
This is just to show that the Canadian government is doing something, Hannah said. Before all the COVID Kens and Karens jump on their high horses, Hannah explained that the airport in Israel was closed to international flights, to non-Israelis, for some time, making it hard to get back sooner. You are currently...
Okay.
Public Health Canada responded late Friday that a traveller who doesn't comply with an order upon entry into Canada, such as refusing to quarantine at a designated facility while awaiting their arrival test, could face a fine of $3,000.
Okay, but he had been vaccinated already.
All fines are subject to applicable surcharge fees that are determined by the province, their statement said.
Oh my god.
Heading level 2. More on this topic.
He had been Of course it's gonna show that he's got it. He's been vaccinated. Oh my god, 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 oh my fucking god. Jesus. What a ridiculous situation we're living in. This is gonna be the new normal now, guys. We're gonna have to show our papers and wear our masks everywhere we go. It's... And of course, as I read on Friday, the Ontario government is thinking of implementing a permanent remote learning option. It's like, are you fucking serious? I don't even know how that would work. Because it's apparently supposed to be an option to use. So apparently there's gonna be allowed class time and digital time. So how are the people in the class that are there in person going to focus if the teacher's trying to teach them digitally or teach other kids digitally? And how are the other kids digitally going to keep up with their peers in class? Like, this is stupid. I just don't get it. Oh, another Toronto Sun article. And then we're gonna watch the Polyev video, and then that'll take us to the end of the stream. Here we go. Stream yard. Stream yard. La 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 la. Oh my goodness. Okay. Chrome tab. All right. So. Tiger King, Joe Exotic heading for divorce. Oh, how sad. The woman could just get her to eat the the husband. No. Okay, here we go.
Incarcerated Tiger King star Joe Exotic is heading for divorce. Dylan Passage has announced the couple is no more in a lengthy post on Instagram, explaining his world was turned upside down just 9 months after their December 2017 wedding, when tiger breeder Exotic was arrested and subsequently jailed for 22 years for his role in a murder-for-hire plot to kill his rival, animal rights activist Carol Baskin, as well as various wildlife violations. You are currently on a
Oh, wow.
YouTube video. YouTube. End up. Tiger King, Murder, Mayhem and Madness, the 2020 Netflix docuseries which chronicled the true crime story, further threw Passage's life into disarray, and after Exotic failed to secure a pardon from former U.S. President Donald Trump, he has decided it's time to move on. Story continues below.
Move on, huh?
Third party ad frame 1, end up. Third Instagram, now Instagram, frame, end up. Chrome has new this admitting he still finds the unwanted fame incredibly uncomfortable. Passage explains he won't be sharing much more about his private life on social media, but confirms he and Exotic are separating. You are currently This wasn't an easy decision to make, but Joe and I both understand that this situation isn't fair to either of us, he wrote. It's something that neither of us were expecting, but we are going to take it day by day. We are on good terms still, and I hope it can stay that way. I will continue to have Joe in my life and do my best to support him while he undergoes further legal battles to better his situation. You are currently on. Passage also insisted he will continue to always love and support Exotic, real name Joseph Maldonado. You are currently on YouTube video.
Oh, how sweet.
Tiger King Tentris, end up. You unmute video. Despite Passage's comments suggesting the split is amicable, Exotic's attorney, Francisco Hernandez, tells Chrome has new link. TMZ. His client is distraught after Passage broke the news of his divorce plans to him in a prison phone call.
Well, yeah, you're in prison and your significant other is like, oh, I'm divorcing you. Of course you're gonna be devastated.
Passage's Exotic's second husband, they tied a knot just 2 months after his first spouse, Travis Maldonado, shot himself in a fatal accident. Link. View on Toronto's...
Wow, a fatal accident, huh? Joe Exotic's in jail for trying to kill somebody, and his ex died of a fatal gunshot wound during an accident. Did he?
12:46 p.m.
Oh,
12:41 p.m. 12:41 p.m. Brilliant Pirate Pete sounds like a money grab.
gonna love those accidents. Thank you, Duck Dog.
Characters. Settings. 12:42 p.m. 12. Duck Dog at Line Press. Here's their link. https://speculadex.com. Duck Dog at Line Press. Pin message. Duck Dog at Line Press. Characters. Word. Duck Dog at Line Press. Here's their link. https://// Pin. Duck Dog at Line. Pin at page 1 of 1. Duck Dog at Line Press. Here. Duck Dog at Line Press. Here's their link. https. Duck. Messages. Safari. Safari. Button. Address. onweapons.com. Go. Selection deleted. Google. Bing. Address. Text field. Is editing. Search or enter website name. Insertion pointed start. Insertion pointed end. Cancel. Address. Text field. Is editing.
Okay.
Search or enter website name. Insertion point. Paste and go. Menu up. Paste the curve. Shop our coffees. 4. Link. Speckled axe wood roasted coffee.
All right. Thank you, my
List for
friend.
items. You are currently in a list.
Hopefully I can get them shipped here. Because they're so freaking good. It's all a flex to show the government is on the ball. Yep. I thought he was married to 2 men. I guess he was. Just not at once. Sorry. Okay, so. Last but not least, our titular video. We have another video straight from Pierre Polyev. And it is 23 minutes, but we're not going to watch the whole thing. Because I'm pretty sure the last of it is just taking questions. But it's really funny because he's basically he's directly calling out Trudeau in this video. It's great. This is called Conservatives Accept Trudeau's Offer. So we're gonna watch this video. We're gonna respond to it. Oh shit, and it's playing. Damn it. Okay, let's get in here and send this back to the beginning. Sorry about this, guys. Okay, I think we're good.
12:47 p.m. Brilliant Pirate Pete, dead air. 12:48 p.m. Duck Dog. If not, you got the hookup.
If not, you got the hookup. That's true. Okay, let's go and get this screen shared. Come on, Chrome. Let's do this here. You've behaved most of the time today. This is Here we go. Okay. And I will remember to share the audio this time. Okay, here we go. Share the screen. All right, here we go. Okay, here we go.
Thank you very much. And now in English. We're here today because Justin Trudeau personally intervened to give a $500 million grant to a group that had paid his family $500,000. In fact, only a few months before he was approving this $500 million grant to this group, the group was treating his wife to a lavish trip to London, England, presumably covering her expenses, according to testimony we heard from the Kielburgers. This group was pouring benefits into the Trudeau family, so many benefits that when we asked the Kielburgers, how much did you pay the Trudeaus, it took them about 5 minutes to add it all up.
It did.
20,000 for this, 30,000 for that, 50,000 for a third thing. And Trudeau had no problem returning the favor by paying them back a $500 million grant for a program that already existed in-house for over 20 years. But Trudeau's defense is that he had no role in it. He didn't do anything. It was some mid-level bureaucrat that just rammed it all down his throat. She concocted this idea to contract out a program that had long existed within her own department to a third-party group that just happened to pay the Prime Minister's family $500,000. And then it dropped on his cabinet desk the day of the decision, and he was so surprised and outraged that he pushed back and made them wait another week before they could get approval and the money. Only one problem. The documents came out.
Yeah.
And they showed that, in fact, it wasn't a mid-level bureaucrat concocting the scheme. It was senior advisors to the Prime Minister himself, his top officials with whom he meets daily. Rick Theis, for example, is involved in email correspondence, setting up programs with the Wee brothers.
The Wee brothers, I like that.
Ben Chin gets an email from the Wee brothers saying, "Thank you, Ben, for helping to shape our program with the government." So apparently it was shaped by the Prime Minister's top advisors and not, as the Prime Minister falsely claimed, by some mid-level bureaucrat in the employment department.
This is what the Liberals do. It's pass the buck. Trudeau is passing the buck to some mid-level bureaucrat in the government. The government is passing, the buck to the nonpartisan public service for this agreement for the Wee charity. It's ridiculous.
So we said, well, let's bring these advisors in and see what they have to say. His response, no, ministerial responsibility. Only ministers should testify, says he, about the conduct of staff in their offices. Well, who's the minister responsible for staff in the PMO? Well, wouldn't you know?
The PM.
The Prime Minister himself. So we have a deal. We will accept a compromise. If Trudeau's staffers can't testify, then he can. We ask him to testify for no less than 4 hours before the Ethics Committee in person. He has shown his willingness to attend events in person whenever it's a photo op or an announcement, so he obviously feels safe doing that. And we welcome him to do so in person. And in that 4-hour testimony, he can answer why his staff were engaged in this long string of correspondence with the Wee brothers about setting up programs and grants of taxpayer money. At the same time as the Wee brothers were circulating documents within Trudeau's office, highlighting his mother and his spouse. At the same time, or just weeks after, his spouse accepted lavish travel from the Wee brothers.
Yep.
So, the Prime Minister wants ministerial responsibility. There's only one person who can give it to us.
Him.
Yep. So we'll see you at Ethics Committee, Justin. Thank you.
God, I love it. This is what happens when you get an idiot and you go, oh, ministerial responsibility. So then you get Polyev going, okay, minister. We'll see you at the ethics committee. Oh my God, what a freaking amazing guy he is. Oh man. Oh wow. We'll see you at ethics committee, Justin. I love that. We'll see you at ethics committee, Justin. This is totally a where's the like Pincalo keeps saying, where's the money, Lebowski? Who'd have thought that Trudeau was such a mook? Yeah, right. He's what a he's so stupid. He's so stupid. And Polyev totally just called his bluff, too. He was just like, oh, no, ministerial responsibility, ministers only? Okay, see you there. And you'll be testifying for the full 4 hours. That's amazing. I love that. I freaking love it. It makes me so happy that there's somebody, at least one person in the Conservative Party, that's willing to make Trudeau look bad and not focus on, like, because you don't have to focus on his politics to make him look bad. And Pierre Poilievre has a good mixture of looking at Trudeau's politics and looking at Trudeau's other bad qualities as well. And it's a very interesting dynamic. And I'm glad that if you like flavored stuff, I may have to stop in Wiscasset one day and pick up some stuff my family likes. Okay. Sounds good. But yeah, that was brilliant. That was brilliant on Poilievre's part. Way to call out his bluff. And I love this. So guys, we've come to the end of the show. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves, and I hope you guys have a good Monday. There is going to be a Beat the Blind Girl stream tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, so I'll see you for that. And of course, another coffee stream on Wednesday with Functional. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday, and I'll see you back here for Beat the Blind Girl on Tuesday. And Pete, I hope you enjoy your mug, sir. And thanks for that website link there, Duck Dog. I'll see you guys later. And remember, check out the linktree to find all the ways to support me. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.